You've been eagerly waiting weeks for a particular property to come on the market so you can check it out. And before you get the chance, another buyer gets it under contract. How does that happen? And how can you make that work for you? I'm Peter Boscas with Red Cedar Real Estate. And in this video, we're going to explain sight unseen offers from the buyer's perspective and whether or not it might be a good option for you. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's been a tough couple of years for buyers in the current Maryland and DC real estate market. There haven't been many houses to choose from with historically low housing inventory, and when a good house does come on the market, you're usually competing against other buyers, some of whom can be very aggressive. What's worse is there are times when you see a particular property will be coming on the market soon, and you're very excited to check it out because it may be the one that you've been waiting for. And then suddenly, it's no longer listed as coming soon, and it's under contract. And that can be confusing because your agent explained that when the house is in coming soon status, buyers are not allowed to tour the property. Your initial reaction is likely that your agent was mistaken, or maybe the buyers who have a contract on the home were somehow able to see it, but you weren't, and that doesn't seem fair. But there's actually another crazy reason that buyers are able to get the house under contract before you were able to tour it. Believe it or not, there are buyers in the market right now making insane sight unseen offers on properties. Sometimes they're making these offers without there even being more than a couple of pictures of the property available. These buyers have the philosophy that they would rather make a big gamble up front to get the property under contract rather than waiting for other buyers to get involved and then possibly losing the property in a bidding war. Of course, this isn't as easy as it sounds. As an example, if a property is listed at $500,000, the sellers aren't going to accept a sight unseen offer of $500,000 before letting the property hit the market. In the current market, in most Maryland and DC communities, if a home is priced competitively, the seller would be expecting to have at least several offers ranging from somewhat to very aggressive. So there's very little incentive for a seller to accept an offer from a buyer who's never seen the property, unless it's extremely aggressive. So for a buyer to convince a seller to keep the house off the market, the buyer needs to make an offer the seller can't refuse. This usually means a purchase price much higher than the expected list price, and it could involve waiving other protections like appraisals and inspections. We have a series of videos explaining the various contingencies included in a typical purchase offer and how you can tweak each one of them to make your offer more enticing for a seller. So be sure to check those out as well. Unfortunately, the truth of the matter is there are some buyers in the current market who, either through bad advice or just through the sheer intent to win, are willing to make some very poor financial or logistical choices with their home search. For instance, at Red Cedar, we never advocate buying a home without some type of inspection being done. But there are buyers in the market now making the decision to buy properties in that manner. Part of the strategy involved for some of these sight unseen buyers is to secure the property before any other buyers have a chance to see it, and then use the home inspection as their first tour of the property. There could be some merit to this approach, assuming that what you offer sight unseen is still what you would have offered if you had seen the property. But if you realize during the inspection that you like but don't love the house and would have offered less if you had seen the house before making your offer, you won't really have an opportunity to go back and renegotiate. For instance, how would you feel if you offered $100,000 over the list price of a home and then you didn't really love it once you saw it in person? Or worse, you may realize within 5 minutes of arriving for your home inspection there is some catastrophic issue with the house you're not willing to overlook. For instance, I showed a house this past weekend that had very obvious and visible mold throughout the entire basement. Not surprisingly, the listing agent hadn't shown pictures of these rooms in the listing marketing. But as soon as we saw the house in person, the buyers knew the house was not an option. Had they made an offer on the property sight unseen, they would have immediately canceled the contract if their contract allowed them to do so. Check out our video on home inspections so you can understand how and when you can cancel a contract based on your inspection results. So let's say you had made a sight unseen offer on a property and it was accepted by the sellers. If the purchase is contingent on a home inspection and you decide during the inspection that you don't like the layout, or the rooms are too small, or there's a weird smell you just can't tolerate, you may still have a way to cancel the contract depending on how the offer was structured. But at that point, you've wasted your time and the cost of the home inspections, which could range anywhere from $500 to $2,500, depending on how large the home is and what types of utilities and amenities the house has. Having the proper perspective on your search and advice from your agent is key to staying sane in the current market, and knowing and understanding your options is crucial. Your agent should be explaining the concept of sight unseen offers, so you understand why certain homes are going off the market before they're even technically available, and so you can decide if sight unseen offers might be right for you. At Red Cedar, we almost always recommend against them, unless there's some truly exceptional reason to buy it. If If you'd like to get more insight into the crazy behind-the-scenes aspects of real estate, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on alerts for our channel so you'll be updated when we publish new videos.